get it up, get it up. Oh God, get it up, get it up, get it up, get it up. So here we are on Valentine's Day, spending it with streaming matters today. The butcher and AUBYN set you right, making your streams smooth and bright. Grab your sweetheart by the hand and catch some tips and tricks, that's our plan. With Kodi and Plex by your side, watch your movies and TV shows, they'll be your guides. Streaming dreams come alive tonight with the butcher's insights and AUBYN's light. Cut the cords and tech it right. Friday nights never felt so bright. Buffering no more, they got the know-how. Setting up your system smarter, better now. Tune in every Friday night, don't miss a beat. 'Cause streaming matters, it's your techie treat. Remote controls and endless shows, hidden gems, the hosts expose. Kodi chaos neatly mapped. In the tech world, we all get wrapped. Flex gets mentioned, take a swig. Streaming hacks, they make it big. AUBYN's laugh, the butcher's grin. Best damn show to let you win. Streaming dreams come alive tonight with the butcher's insights and AUBYN's light. Cut the cords and tech it right. Friday nights never felt so bright. But the referee no more, they got the know-how. Setting up your system smarter, better now. Cut the cords and tech it right. Friday nights never felt so bright. Buffering no more, they got the know-how. Setting up your system smarter, better now. Tune in every Friday night, don't miss a beat. 'Cause streaming matters, it's your techie treat. Remote controls and endless shows, hidden gems, the hosts expose. Kodi chaos, neatly mapped. In the tech world, we all get wrapped.
Hello?
Ooh, that's the best all day. I can't hear you.
I know. Let's see if how long we could have him sit there and not we can't hear him, you know.
There you go. Oh my God. Can you imagine if his mic didn't work in big screen, how peaceful watching movies.
Oh my gosh, that would be great. It would be great. Well, I can't read lips. Sorry.
Yeah,
can't read it.
Yeah, he says, "Welcome to Streaming Matters, you suckers, you know. Why the hell you're wasting your time in here watching this stupid shit?
Yeah, but
you should be out spending time with your significant other."
He was just talking with us.
Mouthing me. Don't be bad.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Don't be bad mouthing me. Yeah. It all messed up when I changed into my wireless earbuds.
Oh,
I put
okay.
my wireless earbuds in that I have to leave the room and come back because to go from wireless to wired, somehow my system says that knocked my mic off. So yeah,
gotcha.
Dave, you had me without voice for 90 seconds. I hope you enjoyed it. And
we did.
That's part of their show. Everybody give a thumbs up for him being me.
Yeah.
And I will talk during the movie and fights. And anyway, it knows me. I don't have a lack of words.
Yeah.
Or things to talk about.
Sure. That is for sure.
I have plenty to talk about.
That's why we do so well.
That's right. Yeah, you're just quiet. You're just like, let him go.
Quiet as a mouse, man.
Pokey when I have to actually make him talk. So hey, everybody! Thank you everyone for joining. Things that we're gonna jump on some different topics. Don't have a ton of items this week, so that's a good thing. I mean, usually we have a bunch of topics that we have to filter through, but this week there's really not a lot of things that we're going to cover. So we'll hit on some of the big topics. If you have questions, post them over there on the side, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. Thoughts and tossing some thoughts and prayers out to Roger, who was a little bit under the weather today.
Yeah.
So he decided to watch us from laying in the bed, because I'm sure he's watching us.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah, we missed you, brother.
So hope he gets be feeling better. The first half of the show, we're going to be doing our tech talk. We're going to talk about some tips on how to save you money to make sure that you're getting the best bang for the buck for what you're spending. And then we'll also talk about other streaming things that might be going on in the community. But we'll bounce around the second half, and it may be prior to 1 hour. We may, if we get done talking about Streaming Matters topics, we don't really have anything, we may run right into Play or Pass, so the second half of the show, we're going to do a movie review of the movie Breaking, which was chosen last week on the wheel. And we're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about what we think. Was it a play or was it a pass? So we will be talking about that in the second half of the show. So if you've watched it, be sure to tune in, and we want to hear what your thoughts on it. Make sure to vote in Telegram if you've watched the movie. So is that all the early stuff? We got to get past all the checking boxes. I need to have like a little check sheet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and get cranking on some of our topics. So hold on a second. Let me get this. And so I found some little wallpaper. I was like, oh, this will be the wallpaper whenever I'm talking about Kodi for right now. So a couple things. One, Umbrella has been trying to update, or been doing some updates, and it's in beta, adding some new features, as well as adding Simkl to their to the library. That if you have Tracked, Simkl is very similar to Tracked. So he's trying to do integration to adding Simkl to the Umbrella add-on, and so that's in beta form, and it has been coming along. He pushed 4 updates last week on some different things, and it's running pretty good. I've been pretty happy on the experience that I'm getting when it's because he talked last week about that thread pool and trying to be able to optimize your device without overloading websites to make it populate as quickly as possible, because Simkl is going to have a smaller pipeline than, say, IMDB or TMDB, something like that. Those websites are going to have a bigger pipeline, more data can be transferred back and forth at one time. So he went through and he's done some tweaks to optimize what processes can have more things happening at one time, and what processes need to be at a certain limit, a certain set, like a speed limit of, hey, only this number can be done at this time, and moving down the list. So those things have been coming along well. He's added in Simkl to where it's running like your watch list, things that you have in your watch list, things that you're in the progress of watching, and those kind of things. So that's coming along well. And as I said, the add-on is doing pretty good in the beta form. On this, you need to be using the beta repository. It's not in the full repository yet. So I'm not going to post where the beta is for that. You'll need to join Reddit or in the Streaming Matters room. I just don't want to put it on here because he's open up for whoever wants to do testing, but I don't want to post that URL for that repository here on the page. So you can either go to Streaming Matters and talk to us there, or actually, if you look on Reddit, there is a thread in Reddit that he posts the URL to that, how to get on that. So if you want to check that out, check it out. It's running great. It's a scraper add-on. It does not have one click, so don't ask it does not offer free links, because it is not one of those add-ons that's going to give you free links. So don't think that it is a scraper. You will need DaButcher, or you're going to need Premiumize or AltBrid or Torbox or Easy News or something. You're going to need to have a paid subscription to tie into that to get it to work. Another add-on that has done some updates, and let me pull it up here on my phone so that I don't misquote or something. Black Lightning has done some updates in the last. They've been doing updates for a while now. First of all, he changed the art on it, so if you have the add-on installed, you may notice the art does not look the same as it did prior. So he's done some art changes on it. But the biggest things is like they're one-clicks. He does offer one-click sections. The 2024 DaButcher movies have been moved to work with all DaButcher, Real DaButcher, and Premiumized. All 4K 2024 movies have been moved into the new 4K 2024 section, and they work with all DaButcher, Real DaButcher, and Premiumized. All 2025 4K movies are moved into the 4K new release section. So if it's a 4K movie that's released in 2025, it's just going to be in the new movie section. It's not going to be in a folder for 2025. 2023 DaButcher movies have been taken down for now, and he will look to create a consolidated list in the future. So that is, some of that stuff may be moved and some may not. And again, when we're talking one clicks, there's a lot of work that goes into one clicks to get one clicks to work so that you, the end user, has nothing to do but click it once and it play. And so the developer is probably looking at that 2023 list, which I don't know how many hundreds of movies was in 2023, but he's probably looking at that list and saying, do I need to make the edits for every one of those movies? Who's going to watch every one of those movies? So possibly he's going to may do a smaller consolidated list of the popular 2023 movies, the things that, so that will be coming in the future. So if you've been using Black Lightning, you may have noticed some changes of the menu. If you're a builder, you probably that means you're going to have to go in and make some edits depending on how you set up your build and if you directed towards certain folders, that may not be there anymore. So heads up on that for the people that use Black Lightning or use a build that uses those. So some builders are probably, and that's the thing, when builders create a lot of those shortcuts that go into a certain add-on to a certain folder. Anytime you change the folder structures and change where those locations are, even for you, if you look at it, you're like, oh, it's just one box down. It's easy. Or they just changed the name from this to this. Easy for me to do it. If you've done a build, it's looking for an exact path. Anything that changes in that path and you break the path. So even if you change, if it was movie and now they change that folder to movies inside the add-on, it will break a path for a build. So builders are probably, gritting their teeth having to fix that. But hey, I tell people all the time when they're doing builds, it is nice to have all the bells and whistles and point to exactly this folder. Oh, make it easier. Oh, this is the Old West. And oh, you want action films and you make it all easy, easy, easy. But it doesn't take hardly anything to happen to break that path. So anything done in the add-on that's, like I said, a structure, the format can break your build or break the path. So if you're a builder, probably less of those things that you do, you'll probably find yourself to have less work. Like with my builds, I don't update mine, but every 3 or 4 months, and that's usually when there's a big change to add-ons, and then I'll make a change. I don't do a whole lot of directing to, hey, here's the classic movies folder. Boom, here, put it there. Here's, this exact link. Boom, here to this folder. No, here's one clicks. There's the folder of all the one clicks. If you can't read those folders and figure out what you want to watch in that one shortcut, well, hey, that's not on me, because, but to each their own. The other thing I wanted to give a shout out to is, I say Gujal. AUBYN, you said that you would pronounce it differently.
Jujal? I don't.
Jujal.
I thought that's why I told you to ask Blue before.
Well, I meant to ask.
I
her,
thought
but
it was.
she was
but
only
I'm
in
not
here
sure.
for 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
But yeah,
As usual.
Gujal. Yeah, you're right. So Gujal does ResolveURL, which is most people have seen that update in your add-on. You'll see it and you're like, I don't know what that does. That's a module, a script that's needed to get you from the add-on saying this is the location and then its final destination. Kind of helps give directions on how to find that website. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking that's the probably easiest way. It gives that roadmap from this add-on. This is the address, and then it's like, oh, that website, it's over here. Turn left, go there, and it takes you to that particular website. So it is a pivotal piece of script that we all enjoy, and I don't think that Gujal, I don't think he gets or she, I don't even know if it's a he or she, gets the prop on that, because that is a necessary piece that we all enjoy. And without that, it would make it not impossible, but it would make it more difficult for just the average user. So just want to give a shout out for the working behind the scenes on this stuff and making updates, because we see those updates. Like, it seems like every couple of weeks you see an update for ResolveURL to update the URL addresses. And just want to make sure we want to say thanks for that work, because it is necessary and we certainly appreciate it.
Is there any way, Dabs, is there any way you can do a force update of ResolveURL?
Yes. What you can do, and this you can do this with almost every add-on. Now, most build setups, Kodi, will update that automatically. It's gonna, you don't even have to do nothing. If you find that it doesn't update, you can go in. Some builds will actually have that repository on their setup, but also a lot of add-on or a lot of other repositories actually point to that. So you can go in and click on, if you go to Kodi add-ons, my add-ons, and I believe it's under program add-ons. I think ResolveURL is a program add-on, if I'm not mistaken. If you click and you get to ResolveURL and you open if you're going that route, when you click on it, you'll see that open, install. It's like the box that gives like information about it.
Right.
And if you look towards the end, it will say versions. Click on versions, and what it will do is it will search for all the versions of that particular add-on in any of the repositories. And then it will give you which repository do you want to what version you from what repository. So if you click on, let's just off the top of my head, let's say the crew. Let's say you have the crew in you see, well, the crew has the later version. So I'm going to click crew and it will update. And then moving forward, anytime the crew repository updated ResolveURL, you would get their update. Now, so that's why a lot of times people try to use the real one. Yes, baby. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, that's, you know what that's going to be. Hold on a second, folks.
Still won't show her face.
Hot chocolate.
Oh, it's for me? Oh, it's a protein shake to build me up, because she's saying that I'm too small and puny.
I did not.
All right, so off traffic there. So that's how that kind of works. So moving forward, you would be getting the update from the official version, but most people, it updates on its own without any kind of maintenance from you. But if you find that you don't have it, you can do it manually. And again, that works with any add-on. And once you set an add-on to get the updates from a particular or a certain repository, that's the repository it's going to be getting its updates from until you tell it to get it from someplace else.
Yeah,
So even if somebody else had a later version, it won't update until you say, hey, go to that other repository and get the update. So that's a protection feature that's built into code since Kodi 19, so that someone doesn't hijack. And I mean, all of us remember when people used to hijack an add-on, and that was all crazy shit. Because what would happen is someone would just update the version to a higher version, and if you had that repository installed, it would just automatically give you the later version. And those used to be fun times. That was. The old repository wars back. Shoo, that was a long time ago. Long time ago. Oh, look at who, Corey. What's up? What's up, my man? Haven't seen him in a while. So, hey, Corey, if you want to jump in the show, you're more than welcome. You hit up AUBYN, and we'll give you a link to it. You can jump in. So that's all we have for the Kodi world, unless you guys have anything on the Kodi world, because that was the only thing I really had. Yeah,
Kodi world. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Nope, running smooth.
No. Rerun Flex. That's why.
No, I still use it because a certain show we're gonna start watching on Mondays. So I had to jump ahead. None of us,
of course,
had it on Plex. So went to a certain person's MB. Okay, their MB was down.
Oh, yeah,
it was. Yeah,
it was down.
So what I go back to, old reliable, old Kodi, fired on up. There you go.
I love it. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's my thing. I do whatever. All right, let's go ahead, and we're going to talk about this Super Bowl. Was just on last week. So last week we had the Super Bowl, and it broke all kinds of records. I mean, for so many reasons, it broke so many records. So, I saw this article. I thought we would talk about some of the viewership as well as the ad revenue, and possibly where's this going to go. I think I think maybe was it Roger or was it you, Beach, that posted something about that the possibility moving forward that the Super Bowl will be on a paid subscription.
Oh, well.
In sometime in the future, like in the near future. I think it could easily happen.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, Netflix paid over $300 million to host the Christmas games this year. Okay, $300 million for 2 games over Christmas. So what do you think the bidding's going to be for the next Super Bowl on Amazon, Peacock, or Netflix?
Yeah.
So that all that did is just NFL said, let the bidding wars begin.
Yeah.
So that sucks to me because I don't have cable, but I have an over-the-air antenna. Watched it perfectly. A lot of people watch it on Tubi. Saw a lot of people talking about what a good job Tubi did.
Yeah, there was lots of talk of that. That Tubi did a really good job of.
I said it before. Just I don't see it going to staying on over-the-air TV much longer. Really don't.
No, you got to follow the money.
I know, but that's a shame.
Hell yeah, it's a shame. I mean, we already see the playoffs, the wild card games.
Right.
Yep.
Was what, Amazon? Wasn't it some of the Amazon? Wasn't Amazon had some of the playoffs?
Amazon and Peacock. Amazon and Peacock.
So, and again, look at here. This generated $800 million in ads for the game. So this is not nothing about the tickets, just the ads they made. $800 million. That's nothing about merchandise. That's nothing about any of the other stuff that goes along to make money off of this. $800 million just on ads. So, yeah, and again, they were saying how well that Fox had didn't really have any real hiccups or issues. As you said, Beach, Tubi seemed to have pretty good streams with that. We didn't have anybody have meltdowns like they did when Netflix. So it was the Jake Paul fight. There wasn't any of those kind of issues. It drew 127 million viewers tuned in to watch that between all the platforms. Let's see. Tubi was broadcasting it, and they broke streaming records with 15.5 million people watching it at a certain time. The average was 13.6 million, but they peaked at 15.5 million people watching it at one time. So that's a lot of people watching a lot of games. And even think about, I mean, if it was the Cowboys or something, you'd think, but I mean, a lot of people didn't care about, they weren't caring about either one of the two teams winning. It wasn't like they had wasn't anybody like rooting for the Cowboys or rooting for the Bills to actually break that stigma of not winning a Super Bowl, those kind of things. So that went on. I know that they said that 133 million people watched the halftime show. So that was another record that was broken, that more people watched the halftime show than they had watched. How many people? Even 133 million.
Ooh.
That beat the Michael Jackson, which was like 129 million when Michael Jackson did the Super Bowl, years ago.
Yeah.
So a lot of eyeballs on it. And it breaks down to 23 million people started watching the pregame at 1:00. 5 hours before the game started. Not me. That wasn't this one. I love football, but I'm not watching 5 hours of pregame. So, so what do you guys think about, with this being, they're kind of working us into the streaming with Tubi had it. It was, you could watch it for free.
How much of a football fan I am.
Yeah.
And, I think it really sucks. It's just more, take the money, and I don't care anything about the fans, because, it was already bad enough how it was, you had to have money to really be able to go to the game. Now now it's at a different level, it's at a different level. This is so wrong. Everything is wrong nowadays. You know what I mean? I just wish that the Super Bowl should be played in the cold, where it's snowing
outside,
because
it's always in a dome now.
Always in the dome now, and
it's in a dome. They did that.
I can't respect that.
Years back.
Respect that. No, it's winter time. Let them play in the snow.
Yeah. Well, they try to do that to be fair, so that an outdoor team doesn't have an advantage over, like if they were playing in Kansas City.
Yeah, well,
a Miami team might be at a major disadvantage to playing there. Plus, it all comes down to money, because the NFL doesn't want to risk being able to broadcast at the best quality that they can do. And they want to control everything. You know what I mean? And when you're outside in the elements, there's a lot of variables. But if you're inside in a dome, guess what? We can set this up weeks in advance. Yeah. We ain't got to worry about nothing. It's safe. It's protected.
There goes that safe word again. I want to see blood in the snow. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's a corporate showcase, and again, with some of the ticket price, I think the low ticket prices for the Super Bowl was like $7,000. I think was like the low end of that. So,
yeah.
And it was, the game was a quite a bit of a blowout. We had the Eagles just ran away with it. And
I told you not to bet against me. I did warn you. I did warn you.
Well, I couldn't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you, if they would have won, if I would have bet against Patrick Mahomes, he would have definitely won, because every time I have in any of my pools in the last 2 years, any time that I'm like, ooh, I think this is the game where Kansas City's going to lose because of whatever reason. Their offensive line is, tore up. Was it this year when Kelsey wasn't playing? There was like all these people not going to play. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I'm going to say they're going to lose this game. Sure as shit, they win it. Mike, so I'm telling you, I learned I can't. Whenever I bet against him, Patrick, I lose. So I just say, you know what? It's a better bet just to go with him, and I bet that he was going to win. And, it is what it is. I mean, I wasn't betting the house on it, but it was. But I enjoy the whole. For me, it is a whole ritual of, I'm going to make up some wings. I'm going to have my chip and dip. I'm going to have all of my finger foods. I'm going to have some beer. I'm going to have it ready to go. I want to, it's a whole process for the day. And some with the halftime, some people said the worst halftime show they ever seen. Some people, as Sharon says, she thought was the best. Right. It is the craziest.
Yeah.
It's like two worlds of like people like, that's the best thing ever I've seen. And another person like, oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. And maybe I don't know what you.
I'd give credit, as we kind of talked about in Big Tree. In the past, the NFL would card out, the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, acts from 40 years ago. At least coming out current, I know the name Kendrick Lamar. I do not listen to any music. Old school rap, Sugar Hill Gang.
Well, last year
want to go way back. All right. If you've never heard Blowfly, okay,
yeah, right.
pull up and listen to freaking Blowfly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That'll get your toes in a curl. And so I mean, not my type of music, but I thought it was good. Go to a younger generation. They don't need. Halftime comes around. I'm not looking forward to halftime show. I'm looking to getting my snacks for the second half, going to the bathroom, refilling my drink, but I'll have my headphones on listening to what's going on. So I am a 61-year-old white guy, really doesn't have much to say about rap. That's not my genre, but I respect. I give kudos to the NFL for putting a younger person who's current and popular out there to do a show. Good for them.
Well, let's be honest. Our generation is getting to be irrelevant in the picture of their demographics. Mm-hmm. They're not pulling in any new 50-year-old guys to watch the NFL. If you're a 50-year-old man and you're not been into the NFL, chances of you all of a sudden starting to watch the NFL, pretty slim. But if you're in your 20s, your 30s, or teens, if there's an act that's going to be on stage that you care about, that you want to watch, you might tune in to do that. Same thing when they used to show Taylor Swift all the time up in the thing. Was that have anything to do with Taylor Swift? Well, hell no, it had nothing to do with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's there to see her boyfriend. Okay, fine. But the NFL was like, hey, we need to look at her. We need to look at her. Every time she gets up and cheers, we need to look at her. Why? Well, because the girls that are 10 to 30 years old that listen to Taylor Swift's music are like, ooh, that's Taylor Swift's boyfriend. I saw one of my friends posted, she was at a Super Bowl party and says, I'm here to see Taylor Swift's boyfriend. And that's what her shirt said at the Super Bowl party. So the NFL they're there to sell their product to someone that's not already buying it. So they're not looking to sell us on Metallica. I mean, for us, if Metallica was on there, I would love that. But that's not who they're going to put on there, because that's not they're not looking for that group. They're looking for a younger, generation that's going to care. So yes, Kendrick Lamar, which I don't listen to him, don't know anything about him. I guess I've heard maybe one of his songs before, maybe once or twice in passing someplace. But when I was that was like the first time I was hearing his music was when I was watching the halftime show, and I watched it. I watched it, and he had his artsy stuff going on, and believe me, I had to do Google searching to figure out what the hell it all meant. But again, I was not the demographics that it was meant for. It was meant for somebody else to understand, which is, I'm not here to argue with artistic or throwing shade on some other character who I can't speak to. That's a whole nother subject matter.
Well, I saw a program where they were analyzing Kendrick Lamar's what he was wearing, his shoes, his jeans, and his coat, and they said these are the new styles that are coming back. Like flared jeans. He had flared jeans on.
Yeah,
now,
he did.
Everything now, all of a sudden, everybody's going out. They want to buy flared jeans. Everybody wants to go out and get a jacket. It's a money making thing.
Yeah, you were exactly right about that, because that was something I saw the next day trending, was people searching for those flare-laid jeans. And that was one thing. Blue actually said, she goes, what the hell? Those are jeans from like the 70s.
70s, yeah.
Like, where in the hell did he find some flare-laid jeans? But guess what? Guess what's going to be the fashion in the next few months? Every time someone can find some fucking flare-laid jeans. It's marketing.
Well, we used to call them bell bottoms.
Well, yeah.
And
it's just it is what it is on that. I don't but in the dollar wise of it, and as we were kind of how we started this conversation, it is worrisome of where this is going to go, as in the Super Bowl being a paid product. Paid as meaning you happen to have a paid subscription to something. You're going to have Netflix or whoever buys it. I don't know how long Fox has the lockdown on that. I guess we'll have to do a search to see how long of a contract that Fox has. But in the future, when it becomes possible for the NFL to sell this to an Amazon, a Netflix, it could easily happen. So yeah, it's kind of scary. I see Art Art's asking a career question.
And I just answered it in the side chat.
Oh, well then, hey,
my opinion.
Okay, all right. Well,
I just told him my opinion, since I have 2 Shields and I have 2 5-terabyte hard drives hooked to them. If he's talking about using which would be better to have for DVR space capabilities, you can do both. On my 4K Max, when I record on that, I have it pointed to a 14 terabyte hard drive to store stuff. But easier for me, the Shield, I just plug my 5 terabyte right into the USB port and go right to there and store it directly to there. So that's just my opinion, that the Shield is a little easier than doing it on a Fire Stick. You can do it with the Fire Stick. You can, like I said, shoot it to an SMB or a network drive over somewhere. If you want to connect one to it, you have to get an OTG cable, and you can hook a USB drive to that, or even a external drive. So those are just my opinion. The Shield is easier.
Yeah, well, I know that you do that. I don't know, AUBYN, you use yours for DVR and with over the air.
Over the air, and if there's a show that I wanted to watch it on the other services.
Okay. So, yeah, I barely use mine for recording, so I couldn't really.
No?
I mean, I have used it for recording, but rarely.
Well, you start hosting some rooms, you'll start doing it.
I can host a room without having to do that. I got this beast of a machine right here. All right, let's jump over our next topic, which the Quest 4. There is talk, specs, some early discussions of what is going to be in the Quest 4. Looking at a release date of the end of 2026. So this is a year and a half away plus. Yeah. And just they're giving out some broad things of what they look to be doing. Improving the form fit of it. They're talking about also the Snapdragon being the CPU in the headset, a lighter headset, having the AR augmented reality to where like the 3 has quite a bit of it where you can click it and see right through it. You can see the whole room, and then other things can be overlaid in the room, so you can actually be playing a game in your own room and seeing the things in the game. So that's being added to it. Tracking eye movement is supposed to be added to this, to where the lenses will be the OLED lenses, but they'll also be making adjustments as you move your eye and you look left, right, up, down, it making adjustments for what you're seeing and giving it the best quality. So that's going to be a big, if they do eye tracking, that will be a big plus on it. I know for us, we've held at the Quest 2, the 3 of us, and I'll say even several other of us have stayed at the Quest 2 and have not taken the jump to 3. Let's just throw it out there. So why haven't you taken the jump to 3? And do you plan on making a jump to 4? And also the price tag on this, I think said $499. The base 2 models, base price $499. Would
They're
you?
They're gonna stay at that $499. I might, by that time, I think I'd be ready to jump over. Right now, to me, jumping over from a 2 to a 3 or the 3S is just not worth it to me because of what I just use it to do. I think it's like too soon to go and spend, that kind of money to get something that's only one step up. And I don't feel that much has really changed. Well, there's things that have changed, like that augmented reality is great. I'd like to be able to use that, but that's the only thing I'd be using it for, I think. To be able to see what I'm what we're playing and be able to walk around and do stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. The 3 had smaller upgrades over the 2, not enough for me to justify to make the jump. Now the 4, like they're saying, OLED display lenses for you, which are a lot better. So yeah, as soon as that baby hits, the better display, I'll be all over that.
I'll be all over it, but I'm gonna let it sit out there first because I'm not gonna be a guinea pig. You know what I mean? Really, I'm not gonna be that guinea pig.
Yeah, I'm with you. I believe I'm the same way with you guys. Is I have the 2, the money is invested in the 2. Would I gain what would I gain from going from the 2 to 3, and then the money I spend?
And the stuff that you'd have to spend on all the extras that.
Yes, that's not even counting. Yes, because you got to have you got to have the other headset, because I doubt they're going to give you that great of a head strap compared. In the 2 and 3's head straps suck, so you got to upgrade that. That's a 50 plus, depending on which one you buy. Then you got to buy a battery pack. So there is that extra cost above and beyond what you already have. So that's the same thing where, like, do I want to invest in 3? I might get $100 for my 2, but then I got to spend, for me here, I think it's $500 for me to buy like an S, a 3S, I think. So it's just outrageously priced. So I wouldn't get the better value. I'm better to wait, because if I'm gonna make a jump, I might as well make a jump where I'm actually going to see a significant upgrade, not a slight upgrade.
Yeah, but Dab, how much it costs in Canada? $4.99 American is $7.07 Canadian.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well, that's when that comes out, and I would take my happy ass down to the States because,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
but then
Oliver,
you bring
Oliver's
it
like,
back,
I already got the
and then
3,
they'll
and I'll buy
say
the 4.
you'll buy when you bring it back home. You plug it in, and it's gonna do like no, it's like GeoBlock.
Oh yeah, pull that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
This is registered to a U.S.
Yeah, to US.
Let's hope not. Let's
Yeah,
hope not.
yeah, I know. Well, you better
I know
find out
Oliver.
about that first.
Oliver posted now he has a 3 and he's going to get a 4. But
Mhm.
Oliver's one of them people. Some people are going to buy it when a new one they got to have it. I don't know. I'm a cheap MFer. I mean, I'm sorry. I am cheap. I mean, I'll spend money, but I think hard before. I think a lot before I spend money. Whenever I buy anything, like when I was looking at upgrading my computer, I thought about it for months, like 6 months. That I had the motherboard, processor, RAM, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Which kind of parts? Is the price coming down? And I'm like, wait, evaluating. So I'm slow to make those changes. So, let's jump on to our last topic. Wrong tab? There we go. The 5090, the Nvidia 5090 card, which is the $2,000 graphics card, the top of the line. You don't get no topper than this.
Nope.
Has now been reporting. There's been reports of some fire, some burning, some fucking up your card, and possibly other parts on your computer. Who knows? I mean,
yeah, the power supplies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you don't know. So what's happened is, and this is, I've got the link here for you guys to watch, and you can be sure to go through and you can watch this guy's video that he's did some testing and did a really good testing. I mean, he has the thermal imaging.
Yeah.
He's got all the tools that's checking the voltage of things.
The wires.
Yeah, he had it. This is a water cooled damn GPU. And in his video, this post here was triple the voltage than what it should be going through it. Now the video, the picture that this came with was, it was a end user that was using a modified cable. Now, so we'll roll back to the 5090 takes more power than any other video cards that have ever been released. It needs, I think off the top of my head, I think it needed 550 watts or amps. I don't know if it's watts or amps of power to run the card. 550. Most people's computer, their full-size desktop computer, most people's has a 500 to 550 power supply in it. This card alone, if you're running the 5090, needs that almost every bit of power that your basic power supply needs. So if you have this, you're not going to run basic. You got to buy an upgraded power supply, of course, because you're going to need 1,000 watt or something like that to run. But so this card it drinks power. I mean, it drinks. So they were talking about this port. This wire on this guy's tests, it reached 150 Celsius.
Wow.
150 Celsius. Now, boiling in Celsius is 100 for the folks that may only know Fahrenheit. So 100 degrees Celsius is boiling. So it's 50% higher than boiling water that this post was. And I want to say it said 22 amps of power was running through it, which it said it's designed to run, I think it was like 8 or 9. So it was like triple what's required. So it's not, so they were using the modified plug. There is a plug that comes with it because it's got a special 12 plug, special plug for these things. And they weren't using the plug that came with the box. Now, this guy did the things. Now, I'm curious, is this going to be a major issue for NVIDIA? Or because, burning up a $2,000 video card plus whatever else might have been messed up. That's costly. I mean, like I said,
remember the other ones that were tested also, people that weren't changing out that adapter.
Yeah.
You know,
so they were using the one that came in the box.
And even in the thing there, when he was doing it, he was showing, you know, how hot that thing was getting. I was just like, this guy is, you know, here ready to toast his machine, you know, for testing for this video. I'm like, there's no way I would have. No, just the 1 minute I'd look in there and see that the wires are getting that hot because I got a infrared thing that's pointing at it and videoing it. I was just like, I was cringing.
150 degrees Celsius is 302 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is. I mean, he's using the thermal imaging, and you see all the other wires that go into the GPU were all black. I mean, everything's running like, you know, 30 degrees, 20 degrees, whatever. And then you see two wires that were like almost white, weren't they, Alvin, when we were watching the video?
It's like those two that are being plugged in there, you know?
Yeah, it's these two ports.
Yeah.
So they're overwhelmed. So now again, is this a manufacturing issue? Was it just happen to be a faulty issue? Is it a design issue? I don't know. Yeah, it said I was wrong. It wasn't 550. It was 570 watts of power is what pulls for this card. So a lot of power.
If it's the card itself, we'll find more of that. But the same thing. There were some instances in the 4090 when it came.
That's
out.
true.
It was doing the same thing. So it just could been a defective card and manufacturing. You know, it put together, they plug it in, doesn't work. Okay, it's work, ship it. You know, it's not like they're running 1,000 hours on a test bench to make sure each card.
Yeah,
but
and this guy, when he ran it, he only ran it for a couple minutes. And it was water cooled down. So the graphics card is water cooled. So it is the maximum to keep that card cool. So we don't have to think that the card was overheating, and that's why the card's going to be kept cool. And you could see the wire went from the power supply. Remember, when we were watching it, went. You saw that yellow blazing. It was inside the adapter. You could see the glow on that end of it. I mean, I was like, holy shit. I mean, so hopefully it doesn't, we'll see. Hopefully it isn't a major manufacturing issue. Hopefully it's just a cable issue.
Look, it's a combination GPU air fryer. So there you go. 2 items in one: GPU and an air fryer, all in one. So you're having a heavy gaming session. See your freaking hot pockets, your wings right there on the GPU. Let it cook while you game away.
Is that my hot pocket's burning?
My hot pockets are ready.
So that's a good idea.
How much are those cards worth?
$2,000 US.
Holy shit!
So when Alvin and I were talking about this, I mean, people are not putting these cards in a budget system. If you spent $2,000 on the video card, what did you spend on the motherboard? What did you spend on the CPU? What did you spend on this power supply? You know what I mean? You didn't go. This isn't like just some flea market setup. This is you intentionally are building yourself a $5,000 or $8,000 computer. You have built, you put, and if this happened, and again, this happened in just a couple minutes. I mean, it was like no time at all. It got that high. So let's say you decided you were going to play some Call of Duty. You got your card in there, and it's over there on the in the case, and you're over here playing Call of Duty, and you're starting to run it with some heavy load. It takes 3 minutes to load the damn game. So all of that time of loading and then you start playing. I mean, what damage is it going to do if that's the case?
No, what gets me is, I think about, loading a season of a TV show or several seasons of a TV show, and the handbrake, and I'll let it cook overnight. So imagine doing that. You're
Wake
laying
up in the
bed
morning,
and
like, what's that
the
smell?
smoke alarm's going off. What the hell?
Man.
Yeah, because hey, you would be thinking all the other things. Who's going to go in there and look at your PC? You know, you're like, is there something around here? And come to find out, smoke's rolling out of your damn PC.
Oh man.
You're like, it's water cooled. It shouldn't be on fire.
Yeah, but it doesn't put the fire out.
Yeah. I guess if I'm looking at mine. I guess if it burnt long enough, it would burn the water pipes. And all of a sudden they start spraying all over the board. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of keep an eye on this, but it was an interesting article about these highly anticipated cards. These cards sold out. These cards, people waited. I want to say Kodi had posted a picture of and people waiting a couple of days outside of a Best Buy or wherever they were buying at Micro Center, and people camping out for a couple of days to get these cards, and then they sold out. They're gone. I mean, and I mean there'll be more made, but they've got to, So we're going to see a lot of these issues popping up really quick if that's the case. If it's a actual manufacturing issue or design issue, or possibly just somebody using a modified type of cable that's not holding up to being able to hold up to the quality. Because again, that's a lot of power, a lot of electricity that's running through these things to get this to do.
Moral of the story: don't spend $2,000 on a GPU and spend $2 from an Alibaba.
Cable.
True story. Yes. If you're gonna you go quality and you're gonna go with not any modified hack jobs, because those Alibaba, for certain things is fine, but I'm not putting Alibaba in my engine of my car to trust it's going to get me from point A to point B every day without worry. You can skimp on certain things, but not everything. So, AUBYN, you want to talk about what sports, and then I gotta grab that the wheel. I gotta grab the wheel things while you're covering any sports we got going on.
Well, we're like in a rush today because Dave will start yelling at us soon.
Damn right, boys.
We have Tough Man tonight, West Virginia Tough Man. You can't beat it. It's tonight and tomorrow, and that starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we're gonna do it in big screen tonight, so we'll all be in there having a good time. Tomorrow, also besides Tough Man, we have UFC Fight Night. I think that Dana White has been like looking at Tough Man, what's going on, and putting his stuff in the same slot time, because he's going to be the main card tomorrow is at 7 p.m. for the UFC, but the prelims are starting at 4, and they're going to be in Vegas. So
the big difference is Tough Man will have 10 fights go before UFC puts out 1.
Yep, definitely.
It's a little
like a train
rotation. Yeah, they one guy comes in, the 2 guys come out, and then 2 guys walk into the ring. It's time to get started. Next fight is ready to start.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not much time in between.
Oh yeah, we start complaining. Somebody gets knocked out and they're taking forever to get them up off the mat, or they have to carry him out on a stretcher. Like, come on, get the next fight out. Jesus Christ,
get their ass
moving along. Get out of there. He ain't dead.
All right.
So we got that. We got. I will say for college basketball fans, I think number 1, number 2 play tomorrow at 4. If I'm not
Who are you rooting for?
That's Alabama and. Is it Arkansas? I think it was Alabama, Arkansas. It was 1 and 2. I don't care. It's too early in the season. I don't care.
Okay.
Well, you got Daytona Sunday.
Daytona 500. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot the duels was on yesterday. The dual 5. Dual 250s. Yeah, it's kind of the qualifying. It's they're races, but they're qualifying. And yeah, I enjoyed Daytona. I just the side-by-side racing, the slight mistakes, and now you got to wreck all the 20 cars taken out in one wreck. I enjoy the 200 miles an hour. I enjoy it. So all right. So what's the movies we got here that are on the wheel?
For the wheel for next week, February 21st, we have from Andrew, who's in green, movie Flow. I'm in purple with The Fire Inside. Dabs is in red with Wolfman. Eddie's in gray, The Great Escaper. Roger is in orange with Beetlejuice. And Beach is in blue with September 5th.
All right. Well, it looks like a lot of movies I haven't seen. So I think I've only seen one of these movies. Let's see what we got to watch next week. Oh, shit. We're going to miss mine. Oh, come on. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This is a movie I haven't seen.
Yeah, September 5th.
Hey, let me tell you, it ain't great, but it's slim pickings out there, folks, trying to find a good movie. I enjoyed it, but slim pickings.
What was it? September 9th or 5th?
5th.
Yeah.
September 5.
There we go. So this is about the 1972 the Summer Olympics when some terrorists snatched up some they weren't American, were they? Israeli athletes. Israeli athletes. So that's what we're gonna be having to watch next week. So based on a true story. ... Okay. All right. So that's what we got to watch for next week. All right. Well, let me turn this share off and let me click to get us going on to our show.
Well,
hold on, folks. Yeah.
Dabs, I read an article about movies coming out. There's a lot of movies. Okay, in Canada, we have 3 places where they make movies: Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. Okay, and the studios right now are like they're on hold because they don't know what's happening with the big guy downstairs. Okay, so
the devil.
Yeah, the devil. So right now there's a lot of there's nothing coming in.
Big guy downstairs.
Right. There's not
your neighbor. I know your neighbor, our neighbor to the south.
Yes, there's a lot of things are not being settled out because they don't know if these tariffs are going to apply to even movie productions and things like that.
Oh yeah,
it's gotta.
It's my kids are scared, man. They're there's nothing at all. Nothing at all is dead out there.
Wow, that's just. Economies don't do well with uncertainty.
Yes.
Businesses can do well and people can use it for negotiating, but confidence does not come from when you're not sure.
No.
And companies aren't going to invest money when they're unsure. They're going to sit down and just wait. So yeah, it hurts a lot of people for stuff like this. So tariffs are not, it's not hurting one place. When you set tariffs and you toss them in there, it's a lot.
Simple fix is make your Canadian movies 25% better, damn it. Because a lot of the shit coming out there sucks.
All right, hold on. Let's get going with Player Pass. All right, let's go ahead and let me share my screen here to get going on this. This is the part of the show we'll go play or pass. We're going to talk about a movie. So if you've not seen this movie and you're scared to get your, you don't want any of your spoiler alerts to come out, you're going to want to tune us off. And, sorry, but we will give spoiler alerts on this and we will talk about what our thoughts is. So Here we go. Breaking, which was AUBYN. It was your movie.
Yep.
So whoever wants to start with their thoughts, pros and cons on this movie.
I liked it.
Okay.
It gives us a lot of John Q vibes. You know, like the Denzel one where he's like trying to get a heart for his son, and he takes the
True.
hospital people hostage. And
I never thought about the John Q. I forgot about that.
yeah,
It sounds just like him.
yeah. Well, he's like he's that English actor, isn't he, in the Star Wars? John what's he called? Boyega. Boyega. Oh, he's quite good. I'm not like an expert American, so I don't know what he's if his accent was on point or not, but it sounded good enough.
Yeah, it was good accent.
No, I thought his acting was pretty good as well. The only thing I didn't like about this whole thing was is it unrealistic? I don't know. The response time of the police. The guy said he's got a bomb and he's holding up a bank, and it took forever for them to get out there. And then it took
even longer
to talk to him.
He had to call 911.
Yeah, he called it. And then he had to call the TV station. Well, I thought that once the negotiator obviously started talking to him, I actually started to like. I liked him. I thought his acting was good as well, and I thought the connection between the two was good. Now it's not like a massively complex story. It's obviously based on a true story, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was a true story until the end.
Yeah, it's a true story.
I remember we saw it on the trailer, but I watched the trailer last week, and so it completely.
I just found it sad that someone had to go through all that lengths to get like $800. Like even the negotiator has that line in where he's like, "Oh, is that all? Like they owe you $800?" And he's like, "Your life's worth more than $800 or whatever."
$892. Thanks.
Yeah, $192.
And 25. What was it, like 25?
And the family never got
the exact amount he wanted.
Yeah.
And the family still never got the money. That's
Sure.
the real kick in the ass.
But yeah, I did like it, and like obviously not a massively complex storyline, but thought the acting was good, and I wasn't bored at any point. I just thought the response time of the police was a bit fucking stupid. It almost ruined it.
I'll chime in with. I'll give my thoughts real quick, and then but the acting from John was great. Yeah. I thought his acting on this was notable for an Oscar, kind of his role. I thought he was so convincing. I mean, I felt for him. I mean, the story in this, where we talk about, we bitch about scripts a lot of times. I mean, I had buy-in on him. I had buy-in on the people, the tellers that were there. Mm-hmm. And then you also had the understanding that this is real. The VA, and really when you let any government agency do a lot of stuff, the VA does a really poor job of taking care of veterans. Mm-hmm. They're not staffed like they should be. The bureaucracy that goes on is unbelievable. You're nothing but a number. And there's no, hey, thanks for your service. It's next, we got 100 people waiting in line to come talk to us. It's like when he came to them and said, "Hey, I am broke. If I don't get that $900 that basically it was sent to pay a student debt that he didn't know," but him saying, "Hey, I'm going to be homeless if I don't get that $893. That's my money. That's my money for my rent. I will be on the street. I cannot afford to pay for food if I don't get my $893. And what does she do? She's like, looks concerned, reaches over, gets him a pamphlet about now you're home, or homelessness is what it said, how to deal with homelessness. And he says, here's this, you can go get in that line and you can get some food stamps and a shelter or this or that, but you know, sorry. That was gut wrenching. I mean, that was like, holy shit. And this is real life stuff. I mean, this story. I dogged out AUBYN for picking it because I had never heard of it. But this is true. This is real life. This is real things that happen with people, and this is not a rare case. This stuff happens, and people are in dire situations. And it's like, he was respectful. He was, you know, he's like, I've done all the things I was supposed to do. Now you're not gonna give me my money. Only issue I had with this movie was the cops. And yes, when Andrew said about the cops getting there, yes. But to me, the cop aspect, whenever it was like, I felt like I was watching two movies. When they were inside the bank and John was doing his acting, I felt a certain way. I felt the cameras, the angles, the tension. I felt it. Then they would flip out here to what was going on with the police, and I felt like I was watching an 80s half-ass sitcom. Because you had the one white cop that, why was he even in this movie? He was, you know, the one that was like the sergeant or something with this guy. And he chimes in every once in a while with these stupid things, walks in the door or pops in the guy's car, like when he's negotiating. And I just felt like it didn't fit the movie. It felt like two separate filmings and two separate movies. And it actually caused me to lose a little bit of feeling of the movie. I lost some of that kind of that being caught in the movie. I lost some of that whenever they filmed to the cops. So that was the only thing I can really say is that aspect of it. And then it ends as a kind of a Debbie Downer at the end. That was tough. But again, John's acting, brilliant. I thought the tellers did a brilliant job, and I thought they did for real. Like remember when she froze, when they could get away. Remember he went in the bathroom, and he just walked off, went in the bathroom to make phone call to call his daughter, and he was gone for a while. And the one cashier runs the door and locks it and says, "Come on, we're gonna get out of here. Let's go. He's not in here. Let's go." And she froze. Like she says, I can't move.
Yeah, she's like, he'll shoot us. He'll shoot me. And it's like, you've never even had a gun.
Yeah, but her brain, it was like her brain, and then you see her pee her pants right there. Like she just froze, which that happens to people, you know. I thought that again was real. I'm like, that's real. I mean, people say, I would just run, but yeah, you're right. You would be scared that you get shot on the way out or something. And your brain just, you know, you can't do nothing. It's like you're on overwhelm. So, I liked it. There's a lot of things I liked. Very few things that I didn't like. Again, only the police aspect of it that I didn't like. But I liked how they told the background story. I mean, I was 100% sold on that guy, on who he was as a character.
For myself, I like the acting in here was super. Like you said, Dabs, about the cops. The cops, how come the cops didn't supply a negotiator? Usually it's the cops that supplies a negotiator. It's not, you know, a reporter or anybody else. It's supposed to be somebody is assigned to a person like this, which is in distress. But nobody, you know, tried to go into his personal life, why he was doing this. You know, they didn't even know he was a serviceman. Mm-hmm. All they knew, he was trying to get, you know, VA benefits. Well, VA benefits is supposed to be given to people that are going out, you know, and sacrificing their life for the country, and they're getting lousy service. They throw it back on the street and say, you know, you deal with it yourself, you know. But when I started watching this movie, I got to a within about 5 to 10 minutes of this movie, I said he's going to get shot at the end. There's no way he's going to get out of this. He's trying to do his best. He's polite. He's trying to, talk to people. He's trying to rationalize with people. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. But, all he wanted was $892, and he didn't even get that. All he got was an ounce of lead, That's for me. I can relate to that because I know a few people that have been in the service.
Okay.
Yep. It was good. It was. I was kind of like Todd when AUBYN said this, and I was like, I'm not in the mood to watch a drama. I just was like, okay, let's turn this on. I started watching it. The more I watch it, I started to get into it. And I really enjoyed it. And I mean, I just, the way, such a double standard of how we treat the service people, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. They come back home. Oh, fuck you. You're on the curb. We don't give a shit about you. Basically, disposable heroes basically is what they are. Go out there, do your duty. When you're done, thank you for your service, and hit the bricks. Because I mean, there's a VA hospital down here. I mean, I'm in a huge military town, and the horror stories you hear about going on there, people going in for medical tests and not getting the results back from that test until 15 years later. Okay, the medical tests from the doctors. Personally, I know vets, he was stationed aboard a ship that was in a shipyard. Later in life, he contracted asbestosis. Okay, so he was trying to get VA benefits to cover his cancer treatment. They denied it, just because he was older. Said, oh, there's no way they can prove that's what causes asbestosis. So the way we treat veterans is horrible. It's horrible. And I mean, it's just a sad story that obviously the guy was dealing with mental issues besides what else was going on, and he just wanted his money. That's all it was. And like I said, he knew how it would end, and sadly it did end that way. So it's just, but I mean, story's heartbreaking, the movie's good.
Yeah.
But how many other stories are out like this? The ones we don't hear about,
Oh,
it's like this never-ending story. You can start a story and you can never end because there's so many stories and variations of the same thing that's going on.
Well, it's just a sign of the problem. This is a real problem. And when we talk about budget cuts and all that, when we say, we're going to cut back the benefits in these programs, there's real repercussions to those cutbacks. And you can't, when it's just numbers on a sheet when they're doing a budget, those are just numbers. And they're like, well, we can cut back 10%. We'll be all right, 10%. And you cut back until you've cut back so much that anybody that goes to the VA, you're going to be there all day. There's no, I'm just going to run in for my appointment and run back out. No, you're going to be there all day, waiting, just sitting.
I think if you serve for your country, you should never ever have to worry about money ever again. If you putting your life on the line.
Yes, exactly.
Well, part of this part of this is and I don't think a lot of people understand student loans, and I do with for people that have kids that have student loans or student loans. The government gave Fannie Mae and all these companies that give student loans and give them out to anybody. And this guy, he had a GI, he had the GI Bill, where he could go to college after he got back. And the power that these schools have on your loan is above and beyond any other loan that you can ever get. So they have power, and this is written as a law, and you can wonder who wrote these into the laws. They can take your Social Security if you don't pay it. Like they can take your money from your Social Security. They can take your retirement, your 401k, your pensions. They can take that. They can take any kind of money. If you declare bankruptcy, you go bankruptcy, and that wipes your debt, right? It wipes your debt of everything. Well, the one thing that doesn't get wiped when you file bankruptcy is your student loan. So they've been given the freedom. Student loans have been given the power, the freedom to abuse and always get their money. It doesn't matter. They're going to get their money. And so what happened with this is he went to school for a couple months and then dropped out and never went back. But then the VA, the school reported it back to him, and the VA took that whole chunk of money out of his account, all in one chunk, and says, oh, that goes to the school. That's where that money's going to go. And not whereas most companies are not, that's against the law to do that. A company can say, hey, a hospital, can we get on a payment plan? Student loans have a power that no other company has. They can take, there you go, there's all of it. We've taken our money. So that's where this is to me, it's two prongs. It's the VA that's not taking care of a veteran, as well as the student loan program that we give power to these loan companies for student loans, which they'll give a loan to anybody for anything. And they can abuse the American citizens, and it doesn't matter hell or high water, they're going to get their money. And that's, to me, that's also a bad thing, because why do they have these powers that no other loan has? Why is it that they can take my 401k? It's like, it's crazy. So that, to me, this story was two pronged on thing.
Well, I'm glad that I finally got a movie out there that all of you liked. I first saw this movie, and I like Eddie said, okay, well, I know he's dying in the end. There's no way they're gonna turn this into a happy story and give this guy his money, and and we're all gonna go along, especially knowing that it was a true story. It's a shame that that it takes people that work in the bank that are other black people that understand that what, this guy is going to get shot, and
he said that. He says, I'm going to die.
I'm going to die, and they're the ones that are trying to save him. They were doing anything they could to save him. And it's the world that we live in. It was a shame, but I loved the movie. I thought, because it was, I guess I could say in a way, such a small cast, because the three of these three in that bank was the whole movie. It really was, because you're able to see, everything that it made things feel more personal when you were watching it. Just when they first heard that knock on the glass, and he went and he dived under the thing, and he grabbed all his bomb and everything. You felt like you were there with him, and you knew that he was such a nice guy, and that, well, he'll never go out and hurt these women. You know what I mean? We all knew that because we were inside that bank with him. And on the outside, you had all the cops that they were lining up to
licking their chops.
They made it worse.
Right, like they were gonna shoot anybody that came out of there.
Well, there was actually sorry to cut you off, but there was actually a point in the movie where the lady on the phone there in the picture, she says, listen, I want to go see my son and stuff. I don't want to have to explain to him why I'm on the news and all that blah blah blah. I just let me transfer the money to your account.
Yes.
And at first he says no, and then he's like, okay, do it. And then she goes to do it, and they froze his bank account, so he couldn't do it. They just made it worse. They just made it harder for them.
Because he was for principle. He didn't want somebody else's money because people were like, well, I'll give you money. Because I don't want your money. I just want the money that's my money. That's
Dude,
the VA took.
Yeah, the money due.
Yeah, so it's like, no, I don't want. He wasn't looking at. He says, I don't want the bank's money because she says you can have any of this money we got. He goes, I don't want the bank's money. I just want my $893 back. That's all I want. And she's everybody's thinking, oh, he's trying to rob the bank. No, he's trying to make and that's why he reached out to the news agency to say, hear my story, because there's other people out there that are going through the same thing. This is a problem we have here in this country that people are being just shuffled along and pushed out the door. Like, all right, sorry, we don't have time for you.
And also if he didn't try to shine a light on the VA, it would have just been just another guy trying to rob a bank. When actually he's a war veteran. He's actually a hero. He served his country, and like that would have just been forgotten about. And it would have just been like when they talked about him, it would have just been, oh, he was the guy that tried to rob the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
But the sniper, when you saw him pass a couple of times in front of the window, then finally when he comes and he takes the shot, what was going through the mind of that sniper?
Well, think about it, that the sniper
he wasn't bothered.
Had that picture, and the sniper was feeling something because the sniper had the picture, and he looked at Brown's picture, and he was like, he knew, like, this is wrong.
Yeah, he was a Marine.
He's a Marine. He knew this was wrong, but he knew he had a job to do, and he had plenty of time earlier to take that shot, and he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, and then come to find out, he didn't have the bomb.
Right.
There was no bomb. There was. Again,
and they still tried to blame it all on him by saying, say that he shot himself. You know what I mean? It's the world.
Because so now it's based on a true story. Now, didn't you say that then the police reported that he shot himself?
That he shot himself. That was the first thing that they said.
Cover up.
Yeah.
What? They ain't gonna lie. It was a really, the only reason I would not recommend this movie is because it finishes on such a heavy note. Like when I talked to Blue, I said,
you talked about it?
Yeah, and I said, hey, this was a good movie, great acting, great script, but it finishes on kind of a down. A down note of it. And she says, I don't like movies that finish like that because, she likes not only comedies, but she just wants a movie that's not going to finish with you, crying as the credits are running. And, so that would be the only reason I wouldn't recommend this to somebody, is if I feel like certain people don't want to watch movies like that. Even if it's a based true story and it's good acting, some people don't want a heavy movie because they want to escape they watch a movie to escape, not to be weighed down by, I already know all the world's shit and people are homeless and, some people don't want to see that. So that'd be the only reason I would say, no, I wouldn't recommend it to some people, but most people I can recommend it.
Whoa. Yeah, it looks like his mic went out again.
Did it go out?
What? No.
No.
His mouth moving.
Start talking.
Hey, all of a sudden, silence in the room? What?
No,
it isn't just a movie though. It's like a message, isn't it? It's like we're just stuck in the whole process of like just there's different processes of getting money and ways of life. Everything's to do with numbers and it's just like a lot of the human elements taken away from life. Just like how you honestly, man, veterans they should not have to go through all that when they come back from war. It's just it's really a disgrace when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just telling you, really, just like it shouldn't. It's just basically saying that it shouldn't be this hard to get $800.
No.
Yep.
Like how many people, homeless people, people are in this situation where they went out, they joined the army or whatever, and they went out and they came back, and now they're living in tents out in the street. You know, this. I'm saying, if somebody takes an evaluation of that, most of those people are people that serve the country.
Yeah, and people who would never even dream of trying to dare go to serve their country, you walk past them and look at them like they're trash.
No,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's absolutely crazy. It's actually mental when you think about it.
I'll tell you a part in this movie that gave me chills. And this is coming from, I'm a white male in my 50s, I got a good life, this and that. When he was talking to the reporter, and he's on the phone with the reporter, and he's trying to get his story out about how the VA had taken his money, and he's just trying to get it back. He's trying to tell a story. And he said to her, "How hard is your life? Honestly, how hard is your life? Do you feel like your life is so hard every day? It's so hard every day. I'm knocked back every single day. Do you feel that?" And that was a legitimate question.
Sure.
When I heard him say that, and I thought to myself, if he asked me that question, what would I say? Because there's no way that I could relate to what he's going through, being in that situation of constantly being knocked back down, because he's a vet, be it if he's because he's a black male, be it for whatever reasons, but that he is constantly, every time he thinks he's moving forward, he's knocked back. And he said, "How hard is your life? Is it really hard for you?" And it made me think about, how hard is my life? Is my life really that hard? And it's not. I mean, honestly, it's not even nowhere near that. So it just gave me like a chill of, I'm blessed to be in that situation, but that doesn't mean to look down at somebody that's in a situation like that, because most people, there's some stats that'll tell you, most people are like 3 paychecks or 4 paychecks from being homeless.
Yes.
If you lost your job today, how long could you live? And it's like the majority of people would be homeless within, a couple months. So that's scary to think, if you lost your job for whatever reason and you can't, and then because your bill is going to keep coming. I mean, rent is going to keep coming. Electric bill, it's going to keep coming. And so that to me was a pivotal moment. It was a moment that gave me chills in this movie. And again, great writing and great delivery. And it was like, holy shit, that's, yeah. And so, that was a heavy moment there. I liked it. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. True stories. I really love true stories.
Yeah. So.
All right, we'll go ahead and toss out the vote so we can get wrapped up a little bit early, because the big tough man's on tonight. So what we do here for play or pass. So the meaning play, you would recommend this to people. People that you would recommend this to. That means you give it a play. If you say pass, that means you would not recommend this to anybody, and you hope that it dies a fiery death with a truck full of all of its films, crashes, digital copies and all, and it's all gone. So we're going to go through the panel, and you guys over in the side chat, if you watch this movie, post, play or pass. And if you've not watched this movie, have we sparked your interest enough for you to say, hey, I will watch this movie? So because I'm curious, because some people, may have not have watched it. Let's start rolling along. Andrew, play or pass?
Todd, what did we have last week? What was last week's?
The movie or the
movie?
What was it? Not substance.
No. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
I don't know.
Seriously,
you know why?
It was.
I think it was one of my movies.
Because I'm pretty sure that
Venom. Venom was last week.
Yeah, I think
that was Todd's movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did play on that one.
And the week before was Substance.
No, I was going to say this was going to be my first play of the year, but I forgot I played on Venom. But this is probably the best one I've watched this year so far on the show.
Good.
And that's probably just because it's not what it does.
All right. So you give it a play.
I give it a play, yeah.
Beach, look at Umbrella's watching. He's like, "Oh, it was Venom." He knows better what we were watching. Yeah. Like, what are we watching?
Well, a lot of Todd's picks are hopefully forgettable. You know,
these are my friends too, folks. These are my friends.
Substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hardly wait till it lands on Wolfman. I'm so.
I haven't watched it yet.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, watch it this one is getting a play. Enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Eddie, what's up? What do you think on Breaking, play or pass?
It's a definite play for me.
All right. You didn't give it a super play. You normally give them super plays.
No, I was going to say super play, but it's why I rejected super play, because I don't want to take it like as an example for people to live up to. You know?
No, he's raised the bar. He's raised the bar of his super plays.
Yeah, it's moved up. Yeah. Like Umbrella said, he's gonna have to watch it. It's worth watching, Umbrella. Aubyn, what do you think? Play or pass? Yeah, he's over in the side.
Well, where the hell were you last night, Charles? Where the hell were you?
Yeah.
You know, I finally get a movie pick, and you're not there to watch it. Man, jeez. Yeah. Just so you know, we're gonna. I have, you know, a lot of witnesses right now. I'm telling you, Charles, we're going into big screen tonight. Okay, at 7:00, we have the West Virginia Tough Man. Okay, just so you know, you know. I know you're out there and you heard me say it. The movie is a play for me, guys. Of course, right. I really enjoyed this movie, and I hope everyone else would also. And looks like
it's good times.
Has. Yeah.
All right. Good pick there. I give it a play. And again, it's a great movie. Highly recommend it. Only downside is it does finish on a down note, but I like it. Great acting. And hey, when you watch it, if you've not watched it before, just look at how the cops versus it's two different movies. It's weird shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's a play. So hey, what was our voting over in big screen, big boy?
It's a play, 15-0.
All right. Well, you know what this movie gets? Breaking is going to get a. All right. So West, it was Breaking. 2022.
Yeah. So, and the more important thing, there are supposed to be 24 ring girls tonight. That's how many are signed up to be ring girls tonight. And Aubyn's favorite is
my girl is there
tonight.
Right.
Yep, your girl.
Okay, yeah, we got to get out of here, guys.
I hope there's some thick women in there because I'm tired of them crackheads. I need some women that got some meat on their bones.
My girl is a Spider Woman.
They're all Roger crackhead girls. I mean,
not
girl
Aubyn's, not Aubyn's, but she's got a freaking. You know, some girls need money.
Number 8.
New job.
Number 8.
She needs a nose job.
Oh man.
Holy shit!
So yeah, but it is fun when you watch that. It's different. It's with the ring girls, and you never know what you might get. Some of the ring girls. Sometimes you get pregnant women. Sometimes you get 200s. Sometimes you get. Sometimes we had Tiny Trexie there for Tiny Trexie for months, and so.
Or you get a ring girl's daughter to come out also. She's in training.
Yeah, that's just not. I don't even want to go there. All right, so that's going on tonight. Again, the links are down below. If you want to join the Streaming Matters room, it's down below, as well as our Oculus Streamers, which is the room that we have if you have an Oculus, where we launch games from, and we'll talk about games, and it's all Oculus conversations in there. And then we sometimes will post when we go live with our on big screen. We only go almost always now as private rooms. It's just people we know that are invited. We don't do public rooms. So you can't go in big screen and just find us. We're not in there. Everything we do it private too. Yeah, it keeps our kids gone. You don't have kids in there. We don't have anybody coming in saying stupid shit. Well, other than me when I get high. So, all right, we're going to roll up here because it's 22. Andrew, anything you want to say before we head out of here?
No, just I have watched all of the Traitors UK version now. I watched all 3 series of that. Really enjoyed it. And I started watching Cobra Kai again yesterday.
Oh.
So I'm actually starting to watch some shows recently. Starting to find the time for that.
I was going to say, you're allowed to have the TV again from the kids?
Oh, I literally do not watch anything on my TV. It's just all I'm one of those phone people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I like to stick my headphones in and just pretend I'm in a different place and just watch them.
Hey, said by so many parents.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, honestly, it's because I'm usually watching the stuff. I'm usually watching the shows while I'm doing the dishes or something. Or I've never really sat down watching them. But yeah, I've enjoyed them. I like the Traitors. I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
I've been watching the US version.
So are you getting used to? Oh, that's Traitors.
It's the English one I really liked, but I'm not sure if I want to watch the American one because I just feel like it'll be over-dramatized.
I know who the Americans are. Most of it's the Bravo. It's the Bravo crew or the Survivor crew, the Housewives. So some of them I know. I'm like, oh, I know that person. I know that person. And so to me, that's what we're on season 3 of Traitors in the US, and we might try the UK version.
You should watch, if you watch the UK version, watch series 2. It's really good.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a good reality show, so folks can check it out. It's an interesting. Hey, I will say to Umbrella why he's over here. We did mention earlier in the beginning of the show, we did talk a little bit about some of the updates. About some on beta, the beta updates. So we did talk about some of the improvements on that. So that was discussed earlier. Just looking forward to it once it becomes a full release for everybody to check out. So that's all I got. Anything y'all? Yes, yeah.
Umbrella, since you're around now, you should join us for the fights.
Yeah. It's just us, and it is fun to just shoot the shit, have a few drinks, smoke a bowl. Well, I smoke a bowl. The rest of them don't, but I do.
Yeah,
it's cheaper than drinking.
If it was only one bowl, trust me. I mean, you get him at one end who's high as hell, and the other Canadian
who's drunk as
gone through her second box of wine.
Yeah,
and it's like, holy
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I mentioned no names.
I like how you said the other Canadian.
I'm not even a Canadian.
Hey,
that's if he's talking about Eddie.
I didn't mention any names. I didn't imply it was Eddie.
Oh no! I'm just saying you're implying that Todd's Canadian.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. We kicked his ass out. He's Canadian now. Once you leave, we're done with you. We wash our hands.
Yeah.
You freaking Benedict Arnold.
Hey, I was just preemptive when everyone was talking about moving to Canada. I was ahead of the crowd.
Ahead of the curve.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and roll out of here. Umbrella, we look forward to you. Hit me up, and I can give you the link. And if not, you can join the Telegram but you know how to get in touch with me. And again, we welcome you guys to join any of us on the Telegram rooms and enjoy us on Oculus. We have a good time. Thanks to everyone on the panel for hanging with us and pulling together the show. Beach and AUBYN putting all this stuff together. It's a great time. Great friends. We have a good time. And I guess we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, but we got to say, hey, we miss Roger, right? Roger.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Roger's going to get better. He's going to get better. He'll be back.
I offered him, some bed service, but, he said he can't take it because he's with his brother. I had some, women signed up, because of
bed service. It got a little nervous when I heard Eddie offered bed service.
Right.
There was all kinds of things with my mind. I'm like, I don't want to see that, Eddie. Why do you put that in my head? Why do you put that here?
He just got a case of stringy matters-itis.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. Hey, streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. We'll see you guys on.
Curtains falling on the screen. Hope you laughed and learned a bit. Had some fun and skipped routine. Time to close this crazy shit. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time to say goodbye. Through the streams and download set. But now it's time for us to fly. Information, picked up tips and tricks to enjoy. But now we leave this online station. It's time to pack up every toy. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time for us to fly. Through the streams and download set, you can kiss my ass goodbye.